Hi, we're going to have some people over for a small barbecue, and so today I'm going to make coleslaw. Coleslaw is simply cabbage with carrots and a lovely dressing. So I'll show you how to cut your cabbage up. I'll show you how to grate some carrots in, and then we will dress this thing. So here is my head of cabbage. It's about a medium-sized head, and it's a little old. So what we're gonna do is take off the outer leaves, because the outer leaves on this thing are limp. They feel very soft for the blind viewers, and they look kind of gross. So you peel away the leaves until all you have is very crisp leaves, and then you just bring them all down to the nubbin of the cabbage. And you just toss those away. We'll put those in the compost a little later. And now I'm looking for the nubbin there. And a trick someone told me to get rid of the nubbins is you take the nubbin, put it flat on the table, then hold it tightly between your hands, pick up, and slam it down. And that should loosen up the nubbin a bit. It works better with a head of lettuce than it does with cabbage. And I still feel some fairly limp leaves here now that I've been touching this, so I'm going to pull away some more. There we go. Yeah, that's better. And I do this strictly by touch. I don't do it by view. It's all by touch. So now I'm just going to take my knife and I'm just going to cut out this core. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to cut the cabbage head in half next to the core. There we go. And now I'm just going to pull and cut around the core again for the other half here. So just go just a little bit, and I'm going at an angle now. Our lovely friend Dwight is below the table, waiting for me to drop stuff. I don't know why, because he hates cabbage. This leaf here is still a little limp. So we've lost quite a bit of this cabbage to limpness, but that's okay because I always make too much coleslaw. So now I just take these halves of cabbage and I slice them. And there we have chunks of cabbage, and they just go into the bowl. You want fairly thin slices because the thicker they are and the bigger they are, the longer it takes to marinate. There we go, there's a nice slice. Bit of core in that, so I get to eat that. Yummy. And I'm just slicing through the head of cabbage right now, making sure that my pieces of cabbage are as thin as they can be, and then breaking them up in the bowl. Taking some of the larger pieces back and just slicing them again. So these are larger pieces, but that's okay because this will have quite a bit of time to marinate. Go. Just break that up. Take our second half here and we'll slice it down again. Sorry, I love stealing raw cabbage. It has a bit of a peppery taste that I really, really enjoy. soft out there. So I'm gonna see if I can pick up, there you go. See, take a look at that slice. It's very thinly sliced, about 1/2 inch, and I'm just gonna toss it in our bowl. Maybe some more soft there, okay. There we go. There is our cabbage in the bowl. All right. Now I'm going to show you an easy way to grate carrot into the bowl. I have my cheese grater right here, and I'm just going to use baby carrots, and I'm going to grate them right into the cabbage. Okay, now I'm going to show you an easy way to get the grated cabbage into the bowl. Here I have a cheese grater, but I don't have the bowl that goes underneath it. I just have the platen itself. And I'm just going to take my baby carrots and just run them up and down the grater here. And now I just got a whole carrot in there, which I've lost in my salad. Well, somebody's going to get a treat tonight because they're going to get a whole carrot in their cabbage. And I'm literally just going to hold it up, and as I grate, the carrot falls into the bowl. Somebody asked me once, could they do this with the cabbage? And the answer is no. The cabbage breaks apart far too easily. It's not structurally sound enough to do the grating on the grater. And now I'm going to hold it flat because I've got a little bit of carrot left. And just go up and down, up and down. And just drop that last little bit in. I'll just do one here. The trick about doing this is not cutting yourself on these little teeth on the grater. And this is just a standard large cheese grater, large grind cheese grater. So there you go, that's what the carrot looks like. Just little slivers of carrot. All right, we'll be back in a bit and we'll dress this baby up. All right, so here we have our coleslaw. And I've got about, I'm just going to show you here, it looks like about, you know, I'd say about 1/2 cup of grated carrot. I put about 15, 20 little carrots in there. And they're just nicely grated on top. And so now we're going to make our dressing. I always make my dressings in a bowl because I like to mix up the dressing and taste it first before I put it into the salad. So we're going to start with some buttermilk. This cup here for now. I've got 2 half-cup measures here, and I have that, I've done that for a reason. We do not want to contaminate the mayonnaise, and I like to scoop my ingredients out of the jar, so I have a clean cup to do that scooping. We're going to put the buttermilk in first though. So here is a carton of buttermilk, and I'm just doing a 1/2 cup, and it's equal portions of buttermilk to mayonnaise. And there we go, we have a 1/2 cup, and I'm just going to pour that into my bowl here. If you don't have buttermilk, you can make your own with a mixture of sour cream and milk. The two things go together and make a really good simulation of buttermilk. Now I'm going to take my measuring spoon here, and I'm going to take a single teaspoon from my salt cellar. put that in. And this recipe calls for about 1.5 teaspoons, so I'm going to take 2/4 teaspoons. 2, 1, 2. There we go. Don't need those anymore. Brush my fingers off a bit here. Now I'm going to grate some pepper in this. And I like pepper, so I always put a lot. All right, so I'm just going to grab my fork here and I'm going to just stir this in a bit. Well, it's still pretty liquidy. Okay. And now I'm going to add a tablespoon of sugar. You don't need a lot of sugar, and it doesn't actually need to make the dish sweet. It's more of a, just basically a chemical reagent to pull the dressing into the cells of the cabbage itself. There we go. Or as my husband says, it's a hydrolyzer. Makes it a little softer and a little less crisp than we saw it. Okay, I'm just going to stir that in. And I'm stirring everything in before I add the thickest ingredient because I want it to all be well mixed before I add that. Now I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar. You can use regular vinegar, but we like that. About 2 tablespoons, and I'm not going to measure that. I'm just going to, there we go, 2 splashes. Oh, that smells so good. Stir it up again. And now our final ingredients, the mayonnaise. And I have a very large jar here. And I have a second half cup measuring cup, but this one's got a really long handle on it, so it's like a spoon. And I'm just gonna, since it's clean, I'm gonna dip it into the container of mayonnaise, scoop and scrape against the edge, and plop that all into my bowl here. And that's it. That's our dressing. I'm just trying to get everything out of the way here. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my fork, now that I don't need to go back into the container, I'm just going to clean my cup out with the fork, because the mayonnaise does not come out easy. It's very thick, delicious. You'll see I made a bit of a mess here on the bowl, but hey, messes and come with cooking, don't they? I'm just going to take the prongs and scrape the cup down like that by just putting the prongs around the cup and just going completely around. This is a very thin metal bowl. And now what I'm going to do is actually take some of my cabbage from my bowl and just get some of that excess mayonnaise off of my cup just by using the cabbage to clean the little cup off, because why throw away good mayonnaise? Okay, I've got as much of that off as I can. Just wipe my fingers off on the cabbage there. Everything's clean here. And we'll just whip this up. And we're just whipping our dressing together. Want to make sure you got no lumps. And now I'm going to just take a piece of cabbage. There we go, nice big piece of cabbage. I'm going to dip it in the dressing and taste it. Maybe a little salty, but that's a lot of cabbage that's got to go on, so it's going to go in. So you do want it to be a strong dressing whenever you're making a salad, when you're eating it just directly like this, because it will mellow out when it's in with the vegetable. So I'm just going to pour this in. Just drop my spoons on the floor there. Good thing I don't need them anymore. Into my salad. And again, I'm going to take some cabbage from the bottom of the bowl and wipe down my bowl just to get all those lovely ingredients. And now I'm going to show you a trick. The easiest way to toss a salad is with tongs. Oh, there goes the fork. And I just grab with the tongs, pick up, grab with the tongs, pick up and drop, pick up and drop. And this is the way I toss my salads. Now, if you were going to not serve this right away, you could put the salt on the cabbage and just let the cabbage absorb the salt and then add the dressing later. But we'll be serving this fairly quickly. So here we go. Absolutely delicious. I hope you make this. Enjoy. Please click subscribe and like this video.